Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm here. I'm a little more dressed up than I was last time, which was last night. And I am just about 3 hours away from going to the after school program and starting this new mini campaign with the after school kids, age around 13. They've already got 36 hours of playing with the characters that they have, except for one who's playing a new character, but who is married to one of the other characters. So it's going to be lots of fun, and they are really looking forward to it. Last night, what I did was I went through the core book and I chose randomly through the tables what the haven that they're going to is going to look like. So, what I have to kind of recap very quickly, and these are my notes, is that the size of this spa hotel can house 200 people. So I first will need to find a spa and internals, and I know that it's a fenced-in, gated community, which has a week opening. The size of the people is around 16 to 20. They have an established group, and they are divided into rulers and servants. I believe that I will have probably 7 leaders and 14 people who are their servants. Um, they have enslaved these servants as a workforce, but uh, in my mind, what they've done is they've incentive, they've given them incentive to remain loyal by giving them various perks. There's kind of the carrot in front of them that they could possibly become part of the elite. They're in a spa, so there's lots of rocking and rolling and a lot of Animal House type fun that's going on. All PG 13. Now, the purpose of this place is basically to have wild parties. They have a tank, and the tank is located right in front of the main gate. And so they have a tank that can protect them. They're well defended, even though their opening gate is a little bit wonky, but it is secure enough. It will come into play possibly later on. The leaders need resources for their wild parties, and we'll figure out exactly what they need. I was thinking music, but I've found some tables. There it is. There are swarms in the sector. They have a cult leader who the chosen believe for some reason, which will come out in the narrative, control walkers. That there's some type of power that this person has. Now, maybe coincidentally, things have happened in the past that they've come to believe. Maybe they were repelled because he spoke a word, and all of a sudden they got distracted by maybe another noise in the forest or something like that. Essentially, this is a cult leader. We're going to figure out a little bit more about that. The weather is colder than usual. I'm imagining that it's around this time and that there is the possibility of snow and maybe even snow on the ground. Let's see, what else? Beautiful surroundings. It's an absolutely lovely location, and they have a trade agreement with another community, and so there are comings and goings, and there's news from other communities. So somehow or other today, the PCs are along with their NPCs are going to be escorted. They're going to run into some of the servants who will lead them to this safe place. They get rewards for bringing in new people. They will bring in new people. They will be trustworthy, or at least they will gauge that they're trustworthy, and that will be the hook. They will come into the situation and they will think that things are a well-oiled machine, but they will not encounter everyone. The purpose today is for us, me, to go through my characters that I have and to establish what they have in terms of weapons, roll on the tables that are provided by the core, and then talk about some of the things that I think are needed that are supplied by another person on Itch.io who's given some tables that I want to kind of give a shout out to. And they're high in the hills, and that's about it. So that's what I've got so far. I'm gonna keep the changed color of my pencil for my pad so that when I make notes. Now I just want to briefly show you, very briefly, that this is what I use for the for my sheet. So I have everybody's statistic on here, and this is last year's used sheet. So as you can see, I've marked down various things in terms of their health. I've got their experience points. I really don't use that tracker because they split apart. So I just kind of move around, and of course I've got all of the things that arise. So that's just a kind of quick information sheet. I have it in front of me and I can easily look at it, so that if someone is kind of stuck, oh, I don't know where to look, I can say, okay, roll 5 dice, roll 6 dice, that's what you have. Eventually they catch on. It just wastes time to go through the, okay, look at your sheet. Now what do you have? You got 4. Okay, now add that to 2. All right, now roll 6. How many dice? 6. Now you've got to add. So that's where we are. Now last night, if you watched that video, we created the Haven, as I said, and I have 3 different groups of pre-made people that I made in the summer. So these are all made in the summer. I have them all with jobs, but on the backs, I have nothing. And that's intentional because I put these in front of me in little standees so that the players can see who they're dealing with and their names. It's the first thing is a player who sees a name doesn't have to busy themselves with taking notes and all of that. They see it. And I find that it's the easiest way for them to remember. I do provide the jobs, but I introduce them first, and once they know about the jobs and once they've met them sufficiently, then I'll put them out. Or I'll cover up the name until this is who you're looking at, and then once they're established, they go on in front of me. Now these are left blank because when they're facing the players, on the back, I can have information. So last summer, as I said, we played 36 hours over, 3-hour sessions over the summer. These are 40 individuals who all died. Okay, every last one of these passed away. Some of them you'll see have a W on their forehead, and some of you may know what that means. So, here is Owen. Owen is a leader. On the back of Owen, what I've done is I've got his name so that I remember his name. I have the fact that his job is this, he's an expert in this, and he's trained in that. He also, what does he look like? Well, pretty much I've figured out what he looks like. But then I've got also the gear, and as you can see, he's got these things, and there's also issues. So that's me being very keen, it ended up me doing things like this. So here's Abigail. She's a farmer. She's got tech and endure. Those are basic. She protects Robbie, who was a child who ended up getting shot by the group accidentally. How horrible is that? Sleeps with Tony, who also got killed, and she has a bad foot, so her mobility is bad, and she has pitchfork, a shotgun. So I've got enough of a sketch so that I can easily say, this is Abigail, and on the back, I know she's got a relationship with Tony. She protects Robbie, and she is good at tech and endure. Now, there are 3 designations. There's your basic kind of stuff, and then there's trained and expert. So I have a sheet here, which I've kind of got from the beta, and I think that everything is still the same, but essentially, a trained NPC gets +1 to their skill roll, so 5 dice. So if you're untrained, an NPC gets 4 dice. This is just standard basic. You don't have to do any math. You don't have to calculate their full stats. Untrained, 4. Base of 4. Easy. 5 is for somebody who's trained. If they are a master at something, they get 8, and if they are an expert, they get 10. So there are 3 distinctions other than the basics. So you've got not trained, trained, and then you have trained, master, expert. Okay, so essentially 4, 5, 8, 10. If you're just randomly playing and you get confused, just think to yourself, is this person so expert that they need to roll 10 dice and have that level of successability? And that's the way you've got to think about it as a GM as you're playing. You want to keep things fast. You want to keep things going. And with zombie games, you really want to make sure that the movement and the tension is there. Especially given that the game is more geared toward relationships than it is toward zombie killing. Zombie killing will happen. In this case, the spa has an area that has zombies in it, and it needs to be cleared. And that will be one of the first jobs of this group is, okay, you need to prove yourself to stay in here and get fed and get one of those rooms in the nice, sweet, sweet area. This is what I need you to do. So I am actually doing this because I am preparing. So I have got a number of things to show you. So let's look. All right, so we'll go to our first scene, which is our core book. And as you'll see, I have, or we have before us the NPC features. We have their issues. Features. I'm not sure if I can roll features because I've already got them. I've already got them with their faces. So, and then I've got issues. Issues will be that's going to be easy, I think, is to roll the issues. The secret issues, I think that's going to be relatively easy to roll. The gear, I'm really worried about. As you can see, the gear only gives 6 options. I think that's very insufficient, and I'm very... I'm not impressed. I think that Free League could have done more with the NPC gear. Actually, the NPC section itself. Now, then you've got scavenging, which is 3d6. And look at this. That's it for NPC creation. I'm left empty. Now, on page 115, so let's see if I can skip ahead to 115. So you do have NPC encounters. And so what I may do is I may just decide to roll on these and just have it make sense for the character if I can just shove this in. I've got a limited amount of time, and I've done this purposefully because it limits me with the time that I need to spend on this. So, um, I'm going to go back, I think, to the NPC creation, see what we can come up with. So we'll go back to whatever the page was, 40 something. Yeah, I don't need to worry about the rooms because I already know we've got a spa. So once I find that diagram of a spa, hurrah. Now, last night, as I showed you earlier, I had 3 groups, and I showed you numbers attached to these 3 groups, and they were grouped according to kind of there's a group that is flown in, and there's pilots and stuff like that who are there. Uh, they were a party that they could have encountered. There's another group with a preacher and a youth pastor, and basically local, village type people in West Virginia area. Then you've got another group of what I would say is, a dad with his kids, and also teachers, and just a motley crew of kind of young people and caring for the young people and trying to just survive. Last night, when I went to bed, I thought about this and I thought, okay, how am I going to utilize the stuff that I already have? So what I'm doing is I'm actually putting them all in one pile, and we're going to go through this pretty quickly, because what I'll do is I'll just put it up front and then I'll narrow it down quickly. So this group is a party animal group. Party animals tend to be younger, and so I'm going to use that stereotypical belief that this is a younger group who is controlling the older people and have them under their thumbs. So kind of like elder abuse. Okay, so that's what, and again, I'm doing an after school program, so I've got to think about teaching opportunities as well. Though I'm not a teacher, I try to give them ethical dilemmas and things to think about in terms of how do we treat each other, and so I'm looking for them to have fun, which obviously they have because they're begging to play this game, over Vaesen, where they were begging to play Vaesen, but now they're ready for The Walking Dead. So they really love those 2 games. So there we go. Bud the cook. What are we going to do with Bud? Is Bud older or is Bud a party animal? I'm going to say he's a party animal. Maurice the kid. Is he a party animal or not? I'm going to say he's part of the party animal group. In a special category of children. Aaliyah, yes. Ruby, yes. Now I'm kind of thinking about this. Latifah Jane, yes. Now, I may actually put them in the servant category. Yeah, you know what? I am going to put them in the servant category. So I'm going to put them over there. At the moment, I'm just splitting my visions up. Catherine's a party animal. Mary is a party animal. Sue Ann, the woman shelter lady. She's a party animal. Dae Jung, pizza delivery guy, party animal. Falcon, the hospital laundry guy, party animal. Boo. B is now a slave. Ivo, who I think really should be in charge of this horrible group, but we're going to see. Ivo's a Rhodes Scholar. What does he study? Who the hell knows? Mac, the funeral director. I'm going to put him in this pile of party animals. Jack the judge. No, he's a servant. Uh, the police woman, Maria, servant. She's too old to party. Brian, the older looking guy who's kind of got the same type of hair as me. Party animal. Derek. Party animal. Sanitha. Party animal. Graham. No. Obadiah, the preacher. I love Obadiah. He's awesome. He looks great. He's one of my favorite images. He's great. Elijah. I don't think Elijah is one of the party animals. Jamie. Nope. Samuel, the guide. These are like fishing guides. People who were in the area in West Virginia and stuff would go upriver, do fishing and stuff like that, bear hunting, wolf hunting. So he is also under the gun. Mickey, no, not even a question. He's a homeless guy who just happens to have survived because people are helping him out. Gus, the general store owner. He looks older. I'm going to put him here. Billy Bob. I love Billy Bob. Billy Bob's too old to party, I think. I gotta say he's under the gun. Ruth, the dairy farmer. Yeah. And Gary, the dairy farmer. Probably husband and wife. Now, we're going to count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then we've got kids. 14, 15, 16, 17. You know what? That's close enough. So, I may get rid of one of the kids. So I will shuffle the kids and just randomly shuffle, and whoever this is... Oh, Ruby, you're gone. Okay, so Ruby's not going to be used. So I have 3 kids, and I have a sufficient amount of people who are going to be doing the bidding of what will eventually be 7 party animals. The ones who are not party animals will be part of the other group. So let's count. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I need to get rid of 4. So I need to get rid of 4. Isn't this compelling? Compelling YouTube. Compelling YouTube. 1. Oh, Derek, you're gone. You're part of the other group. I gotta keep on shuffling. I am shuffling backwards. I don't know what's going on. Oh, Brian. Well, you know what? So far, I'm happy with those 2 not being in the same group. Oh, live. Oh. I'm gonna stick to it. I'm not gonna cheat. I really wanted Ivo to be the evil leader. And so, I want to make sure that I have, so I'm gonna do them backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I am not a math major. I do not understand mathematics. And so the last person who is not part of the inner circle is Bud, the cook. Actually, I am happy with this. So you've got Ivo, Bud, Brian, and Derek. And I like the fact that both the flight attendants are going to have the relationship. Now, what that means is that we've got Falcon, we've got Mac, the funeral director, we've got Sue Ann, we've got Mary, we've got Catherine, we've got Daejung, and we have Sanitha the pilot. She knows both of those other characters. All right, so this was I randomly came up with this in the summer. I was planning on using them completely differently. This is how printed copies, I know it's expensive. I know ink is expensive. I have an Epson, which has the tanks. What do I have? I have a ET2 850. Eco Tank, best investment ever. Super expensive for the machine. I think it's like $300, but you've got 2 years worth of ink. This is great. So this is my evil crew of party animals. So what I want to do is kind of establish who they are. So we're going to start rolling, and I'm going to start moving this down. So I know that we're already at 25 minutes. I'm just going to go, and if you're interested in watching, but know that I'm going to be rolling and marking down what is here on the sheet. All right, so I'm not going to look at their pictures for their issues or their features. Well, first of all, I'm not going to do features because I've already got them and the way that they look. So let's go for the issues. So I've got my dice, and red is first, black is second. Sorry, I could have put up a camera, but nah. You have to trust me. 53. Wants to build a new world. All right, so that's Catherine. I'm not even looking at these. I'm not looking at the backs at all. I'm just rolling and going. So 66. Questions the leader. All right, so again, I'm not even going to spend the time. I'm just going to roll and roll. 55. Easily freaks out. Now, part of the reason why I'm doing this is also because I want to see 43. No, 34. I want to see how it feels cold-hearted. How it feels to go through this process with the book and see what I can do. 12. Never gives up. All right. And 34. Lots of threes on that dice. Jeez. 34 is cold-hearted. So another cold-hearted person. Now, this is one of the problems that I think if you're trying to draw up a lot of characters, you get sometimes the same things. I'm not going to re-roll it, but 62 likes to gossip. That's awesome. And that is just fantastic play. So that's my last of my 7. Now, I'm not going to look at them quite yet. So, I've established this. Should I go to the other group? And I think I should, since I'm on a roll and I'm on this page. So, we're going to look at B and the rest of these mistreated adults. Again, 3. 34. It's like the dice is weighted. For those of you who watched last night. Oh, now see, that's cold-hearted again. I'm not going to do 3 cold-hearteds in a row. 44. You'll know last night that 3s just continually came up on, trust no one, come up on this red dice that I'm rolling. Okay, 61. Wants to do what's right. All right. Also, I want you to see how fast it can take to get all these things done. Terminal illness. Who is that? Billy Bob. Billy Bob. Maybe he's weak. He's weak. That's why. Oh, jeez. Freaking another 34. No, 32. 32. Religious. All right, well, maybe this is why this person believes in. Okay, so 65 doesn't follow rules. All right. 31 takes what they want. 64. Show off. All right, so far we've only had, I think, one duplicate, but we're getting to the point where we may... 16. Never stops talking. A person after my own heart never stops talking. Note the silence. I did that on purpose. All right. 65. Doesn't follow rules. There's another one who doesn't follow rules. 13. Seeks affirmation. Okay, I like that. I'm like it. Now, I haven't really looked at the options. What is that? 33. Bountiful. Bountiful in grace, bountiful in money, bountiful in prowess of some sort. 61. Wants to do the right thing. All right. And we got one left before we get to the kids. 65. I think we've had that before. Oh my gosh. Doesn't follow rules. So I think these not following rules individuals are going to be the type of people who are more rebellious. So we've got the 3 kids, and the 3 kids doesn't follow rules. So as I was saying about that same thing, they've got to follow the rules enough, but be under sufficient threat. So I'm going to say that these ones, the highest level that they have is probably trained, so maybe 5 dice. Whereas the others are going to be 8 and 10 dice. There has to be a sufficient threat that the PCs feel that there's a reason why they haven't rebelled. Oh, fed up with 61. Wants to do the right thing. 32. I really am not rolling any 40s. Religious. All right, so this child is religious. All right, and the last one. Oh, yeah, I've got more than that. I don't understand this. I'm going to switch friggin' dice. 53. Wants to build a new world. Now, I'm going to roll the 6 again. Loner. Who's our loner? Latifah Jane. All right, so I swear, this dice is going in the dice jail, and I'm getting out a new dice because it's ridiculous that I rolled so. I wonder if it is a weight problem, because I've literally rolled way too many 3s and 6s with that dice. All right, I am gonna just quickly go through the 4. Of course it's a 31. Why would it not be? 3. No. 13, sorry. Okay, 13. Seeks affirmation. Why not? All right. 53. Wants to build a new world. I mean, this is... Okay, 66. Questions the leader. Now, this is in the other group. So this one can't be the leader. Well, I mean, they could if they're questioning themselves. Show off. And last of all of this is 54. Expects worst of all. From all. All right. So that's good. All right. And that is Brian, our flight attendant. All right. So. And I think I'm going to put, the heavily armed Ruby in this group. And let's throw Ruby into the other group. Cold-hearted. Makes sense. So she needs to have a rifle. All right. So I'm going to have to mark down a rifle. Because she got it in her image. So we're going to put the other group aside, the visiting group, because I will not have time to get to that point at all. I'm only going to get a chance to really get into a few, but I am going to do the whole group of these, of these guys here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and see if there's anything particular out of them. Okay, so Samuel definitely has a rifle. Maria looks as if she's got a taser, but that's not good. It looks like a flashlight, so she should have a gun. I don't know what Maurice has. It looks like a gun. I mean, look at Aaliyah. She's got like this. That's hardcore. She's tough as nails. I love her. She's great. All right, so these are the ones who need to have rifles. So, this one is an AK-47 rifle, and she is religious. NRA, right there. Maurice, he also has a rifle. And he's one of the kids, of course. Maria has a pistol. Or no, she has a revolver. I don't know if there's a distinction here, but anyway. And then Samuel definitely has a rifle. All right. So these are those and what they have. So some of them are definitely armed, but they're armed, and obviously they're the ones who are going to have to be the most convinced that they're doing the right thing with this group of leaders. Let me see if any of our leaders have a big gun. Okay, so Sue Ann has a bow. So... and Mary and Mac. Mac is the funeral director. He's got to have a rifle. And then we will roll randomly for everybody else to see what they have. Now, obviously, there's going to have to be some major arms that these partiers have, or else they wouldn't be able to control the other groups. So they're going to have to be experts in a number of firearms. So, the NPC issues have been rolled. So now let's do the secret issues of the 7. 21. It's nice to have a new number. So, issue. Madly in love with someone. Unrequited love. All right. This is easy to do. 13. Drug addict. Okay. Still got to figure out who the leader is. 45. Pyromaniac. And if you're keeping count, this is the one who easily freaks out. Here is our pyromaniac, Sanitha. 62. This cold-hearted person Likes to torment opponents. All right. Another cold-hearted person. 54. Has trained their kids to kill, steal, and lie. I don't think she has kids. So I'm going to re-roll. 55. Cannibal. We all have our issues. All right. 52. Lies about what they know. $53. Keeps a dead relative as a pet. Nah. 36. Lies about everything. I just rolled something very similar. Okay, so I'm just going to do a reverse if this doesn't work. Does not remember their true identity. Yeah, I can work with that. Doesn't remember true identity. All right. And that is Sue Ann from the women's shelter. So she doesn't remember that she's from the women's shelter. So maybe I'll have to pencil that off or maybe put something on it. All right. So that's our 7. And I know that this is captivating, but if you're watching it, that's very cool. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe and hit the bell. Don't, please. Maybe like. Subscribe if you want to, but watch some of their stuff to see if you're actually interested. Again, I'm not begging for followers. I'm just doing this because maybe you want to see how this works. All right, so 34. So this is our main group of 17. So 34 is secret plan. Is an issue? Okay. 21. Let's do 12 instead. Murderous. Trust no one in murderous. Uh, 62. Likes to torment. That's our Billy Bob. 51. No, let's do it to 15. Worships the dead. Yeah? Oh, and he's religious. I know you want to know who this is, so I will not keep you waiting. It's Gus, the store owner. Oh, Gus. 13. Drug addict. Okay, so the drug addict is, of course, Mickey, who also doesn't follow the rules. Probably because he doesn't remember what the rules are, but 62 likes to torment the opponents. 26 traumatized. And that is Jamie, who's soaking in blood. So I'm happy so far. 21. Oh my gosh. 12. Murderous. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's just madly in love. Okay, so who is that? Elijah, the youth pastor. 23 doesn't follow the rules. 23 is wants to see the world burn. Oh, okay. And who is that? Of course it is. It's Obadiah. I love it. See, it can be fun if you've kind of pre-prepared. You've got your images. You as a GM are kind of like playing a mini solo game by just kind of like, oh, this is a surprise because it's all backwards, right? So 65 is has a contagious disease. Graham the beef farmer. Wonder if he knows it. He seeks affirmation too, so he's very. So this is 15. Worships the dead. I'm gonna say that there's another one who follows this. Wants to do the right thing by following the dead. So the judge is kind of in league with uh, the other guy, who I forget at the moment. 25. I don't think we've rolled that. Hears commanding voices. Doesn't follow rules and hears commanding voices. Oh, B. 33. This is our loner, who I think is our girl. Compulsive liar. I think it's Letitia. Compulsive liar. All right. Yeah, Latifah Jane. Okay, so that's again awesome. Very, very happy about the way the rolls are going. 55. Another cannibal. And they take what they want. Samuel the guide. Uh, so we're getting down to the end of all of this. Rolling, rolling, rolling. 33. Compulsive liar. It's getting a little dull, isn't it? 45. 54. I'm just going to re-roll it. I just don't feel either of those for this person. 22, I don't think we've rolled that at all. Psychopath. The bountiful, revolver-wielding psychopath police officer. I'm rolling too many of the same things, and it's driving me nuts. Wants to kill someone. Someone. I'm going to say that someone is the leader. Who is our anti-leader? Maurice. He doesn't follow the rules. He's got a rifle, and he wants to kill the leader. Can't make this stuff up, kids. All right, 54. Has trained their kids to steal and lie. Yeah, right. Okay, and 45, I think I know what 45 is too. Pyromaniac. No, we're not having two pyromaniacs. Thief. Aaliyah. All right, so we finished our 17. I'm not going to do the other camp. I'll do that next week on my own. Now, we are approaching 50 minutes. Again, if you made it this far, good for you. I'm glad that you're being entertained. And also seeing how I go about doing some things. So, now the gear and the issues of gear and what they've got. This is where I can either go to the NPC encounters. I do have the book, so I can go to the NPC encounters, and what I can do is just take the gear directly from what they have. I can roll the NPC gear here. but I'm not sure. I think that some of this larger group absolutely cannot have anything more than a knife, other than the few who are trusted. Just wouldn't make thematic sense to kind of have this spa with a group of crazies not have such superior weapons that they keep them in check. So probably only dealing with pitchforks and stuff like that. So I've got to take that into account as I roll up these. So let us work on the 7. All right, so I'm gonna shuffle the 7, and I'm just gonna roll the 6-sided dice, and I think I'm gonna do the NPC gear here and see what it says for each. So we've got a 2, which is, so they've got a rifle, a knife, and rations, whatever. I don't care about the rations. 6. Okay, so that's this. 6 is ranged. A ranged rifle, I will say. And they also have a motorcycle and equipment. I'm not going to accept a 1. 3 melee weapon. And I'm going to say the melee weapon is a baseball bat. And binoculars. All right. 4. Let's say this one has a pistol. And a knife. And survival equipment. Okay. 3. Melee. Machete. Oh, they have other stuff. And some item. We'll figure that out in a second. See, now I just don't find this appealing. Like, once again, it's another melee weapon. They've got a bow, but they also have a... they're going to have a sledgehammer. No, they're going to have a hammer. Last but not least, ranged weapon, so rifle. Maybe I'm going to make that a machine gun. I'm going to give somebody a sniper rifle, but we'll get there. Machine gun. I think another machete. And also some equipment. All right, so it will take a while to go through everybody. So I think with the main majority of people, they're going to have... I'm going to shuffle them up, and what we're going to do is we're going to give them melee weapons, and we're going to give them melee weapons that are just kind of regular old melee weapons. So we've already got base statistics for them. So I'm not going to think about how good they are or if they're better than. It's more this 10, 8, 5, 4 dice. So these will be 5 to maybe 8, but they will not be 10. Whereas these ones who are controlling them have to be at least an 8 with their intimidation, with their control, with their leadership, with their lying, and obviously with their close combat and their melee. So I'm just going to go boom, 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 machete, bat, knife. So machete. Now, I'm kind of thinking to myself that I'm going to need to choose a leader. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a leader who is randomly chosen. I think that that's the easiest way to do it. Okay, so that's what they've got. In terms of other stuff, we will see. Now, we've gotten to the point where I've got bare bones. So let's choose our leaders. So we've got all of these people. I'm not going to go by choosing what they have. I'm just going to randomize it completely. And whoever is in the front that I show you is the leader. Okay. He's a pyromaniac. He easily freaks out. He has a pistol, he has a knife, he has survival equipment, but he also has he's definitely going to have a machine gun. He's and he's also going to have a rocket launcher. And he's going to be a video game like expert like that. So all of his abilities. Goodness me, the amount of joy that you must feel about sneezing or blowing your nose. I have an itchy nose. Anyway, we've got this terrible situation of this. Oh my gosh! I marked it on Sunitha. No, no. I've got to stick to my. No. She is not a video game expert. I've got to stick to my original. I just flipped it over. Oh, no. It's got to be him. Okay, he's a drug addict. He's got a machete. He also has a machine gun and a rocket launcher. And we're going to say that Sunitha does not have the rocket launcher, but she has a machine gun. Okay, but she is the one who easily freaks out. Now he... How can this be? Okay, I am going to switch. I can't... I mean, I rolled questions the leader. Does he question himself? Does he question himself? He's a drug addict, so maybe when he's taking the drugs, he questions himself. But why would they follow him? Because they're afraid of him. And he's got to have people skills to be able to manipulate like an MF. So I think he does easily freak out. So I'm going to add that. Again, you can't be a fundamentalist with this game. You can't just look at it and say, well, I rolled it, that's the way it goes. You got, as a GM, you have to look at it and say, okay, what's going to be great for the game? What's going to really get these kids, in my case, or the adults that you're playing with, what's going to get them really excited? What's going to make them say, oh, holy shit, what the hell's coming up next? You got to do some prep. So in all, I've spent at the moment an hour, and I've got all of this group done, and I've got all of this group done. I have the leader. Okay, so I know who the leader is. And I'm going to mark that so that I make sure. Everyone else who are part of this group are in it for themselves, but they're also afraid of this lunatic who is just filled with power and rage. So when I look at the specifics of Jejung, I'm going to be saying, okay, he's immersed himself in this zombie world so much that he believes that he's the savior of everybody. You've got this cold-hearted, tormenting, bat-wielding, kind of binocular guy, and I'm going to make him the sniper. You have the cold-hearted cannibal. Mary has a ranged rifle, she's got a motorcycle, and she's got some more equipment. So she's like, this person never gives up. So we've got Sue Ann. She doesn't remember who she is, but she doesn't give up. She's got a bow and a hammer, and she's just in for the partying and just really doesn't remember. She should be a very compassionate person, but doesn't remember. This person wants to build a new world. She has unrequited love. I am going to say that the unrequited love is with one of the other people who are in this other pile, the 17. So who is the unrequired love? I'm going to roll 3d6. And whatever I get, I will just go down the line for whoever it is. So I have rolled a 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is 12 worse? No, yes, it is. Okay, so 11. Let's go with 10. Roderick the Judge. I could do the older, younger woman thing, but I think for the sake of the kids, because of that, it's not the lesbian thing. It's the age, it's the children, it's the fact that I'm doing an after school program. If I was doing adults, I would definitely keep it. But Roderick the Judge is the unrequited love, which is Roderick Rick. Roderick the Judge. Okay. So that's just crazy. All right. So we've got that issue. Was there anything else? Okay. So we never give up. Yeah, we've got her. And then we've got the one who likes gossip, and that's Mac. He lies about what he knows. So he's very much. So that's our motley crew of party animals. Dejung, Sanitha, Falcon, Mary, Sue Ann, Catherine, and Mac. So you've got. So now what I have to do is who are the people who are going to first meet this group? So with the amount of time that I've got with these kids, they're going to meet one lead. They're going to meet one of the chosen. I think I might use that word, the chosen. So the rulers, the chosen. All right. So one of these will be their first contact. Mary, the cold-hearted cannibal, ranged rifle, motorcycle person. So this is going to be their first encountered person. And who is she out? Okay, so who have they sent out to gather this group of, I think 7 people will be going. So they've got a deaf girl. So just so you know who the characters are, just so that you have a brief understanding, we've got Annika Carpenter, who is a boxer. She's 23. We've got and then the rest of them are in their 30s. So we've got Dr. Dakota Woodbury. We've got Mark Woodbury. Dr. Dakota is a surgeon. Mark is her husband who has lost his arm, his left arm. He is a firefighter. And we've got Paul Blart. They're 13-year-olds. So we've got Paul Blart. Paul has Paul's weapon of choice is a suppressed sniper. He has body armor, and he has steady hands. He's a herb collector and eye on the ball. Mark Woodbury, the one-handed or the one-armed, he's also a pyromaniac. He has unbiteable. He has back against the wall. He's a health nut. And he has a reinforced baseball bat, hatchet, and knife. He has -1 for force because of missing his arm. And he's got a tent and crap. And by the way, he hates his wife because his wife killed their child, Carl, because Carl was bit and doesn't matter to him. She killed their child. The surgeon has katana, which she got from a character who died, and she's a surgeon, seen it all, speed freak, and her issue is she's OCD. Paul Blart acts like a spoiled child. Annika Carpenter, who is Paul Blart's character is the 4th that player has played. Annika Carpenter is the 2nd. Her 3-month pregnant first character died after losing the baby. I spoke to her parents about this, and I was like, she chose this stuff, you know. Anyway, okay, so eye on the ball, martial arts, 9 lives. She's got a bulletproof vest, and she has a crossbow, and she fights, obviously, with her bare hands. She's a boxer. And she's got binoculars. So they're a well-armed group. They have a deaf girl who's an NPC, and one of the last scenes was they ran into a group of students. Ivo was supposed to be a part of that, but he wasn't there. And so a group of students, one of them, I think her name is Amalia. She's Muslim or Palestinian. She was studying at university, and she speaks sign language. So now they're able to communicate with this other character, Daisy, who is deaf. And I don't think... You know what? If you've stayed this long, you deserve to see what they look like. So I have everything in a folder so that I can easily go over and just play. I have all their character sheets. Ooh, which reminds me, I have to make a character sheet for this guy. So this is Mark the firefighter. I did go and take off his arm. This is Annika the boxer. She looks like a boxer. She's got boxing gloves there. Dakota is the surgeon. And there she is with all her stuff. She's one of the original... She's the only original character who's left alive. And then Paul Blart, the lazy gamer. Now, he's going to have to really play his character well because I think that he can manipulate De Jong. Because he's kind of like a hippie, but he's also a gamer. And he literally has those headphones. One of them is broken, but he's duct taped it together. Oh, and I was right. It is Amal. So Amal is a physicist. She also speaks sign language. She's a hiker. I don't have any stats for her, but I do for Daisy on the back. And this is Daisy. And she's just literally taken out of the book. And if you look in the book for Daisy, you'll see that she has mobility, stealth, short blonde hair, dirty jeans, mermaid necklace. I don't think she has a mermaid necklace. She's mute. But I've made her deaf. But I've also made her so that she can't, she just signs. She can't talk. She's scared. She loves animals and plants. And she had a severed tendon, which was operated on and fixed. So I must remember that I've got to get his character sheet done. So thank you, everybody, because I would have gone without bringing a character sheet for this young person. So that's great. All right, so that's good. Now I want to show you something different that I think is a tool that everybody should be aware of. So if you've lasted this long, then this is something that I really think is great. The book, as I've said, is insufficient, and so I want to show you this table. And so this is, oh, I'm not all the way down there, so I've got to go to the first one. So there's the first one. Is that first one? No, that's the first one. My mouse is being difficult for me. There we go. All right, so this has been created by Rodrigo Martins de Araujo Fernandez. And Rodrigo, if you watch this, this is absolutely amazing. It's on Itch.io. He's done 10 tables or 10 groups of these 5 or 6 different tables, and they're absolutely wonderful. You can see that he's got them here. I'm looking at the close combat weapons and the equipment items. And so I've pretty much gone through, giving everybody stuff. But what I may do is I may go through this, and actually I've got 4 characters. So let's just do this for the 4 characters, just for shits and giggles. 34... a spiked flail. Ruby. So you get attached to these characters. 52. Broken bottle shiv. I mean, tell me that's awesome. That's awesome. He also expects the worst of everything, so I think that's just great. Here's our show off, and that is a 26. 26 is Hatchet. I'll give some of them rifles and stuff. Or that's Derek, the flight attendant. We probably have another flight attendant coming up. 43 fireman's axe. Nice. I like that. He deserves that. And 52. Oh, well, I already rolled it. So 25. Crowbar. Yeah, I should have done more crowbars, but whatever. Ivo. I'm not going to choose a leader out of this group. I want to do some thinking before I figure out who the leader is of this kind of trade group. They're literally a trade group, and they may end up freeing the kids. Depending on circumstance, I have to railroad a bit. It just is what it is. Now, there's some people in this group of 7 who have some extra equipment, and I would like to figure out some of the extra equipment. And so I am going to just go quickly through this. So 56. A multi-tool. Sanitha. 22. 22 is lock picking tools. Of course. Of course. I mean, he is like the best character ever. 31. Portable solar charger. Now, this is going to be an important character. This is probably going to be the person in charge of the music. Unrequited love. Okay, I'm going to say she's the music person. All right, so we don't want to lose that. They're going to love that when they see it. Okay, 32. Fire starter kit. No. Okay, so this person is... It's Falcon. Falcon is cold-hearted, likes to torment, has binoculars, is a sniper, and is going to be in charge of the barbecue. Okay, so 65. You gotta love just watching YouTube, chilling out, doing whatever you're doing, just listening along and figuring out the joys of welding equipment. Oh, no, I'm lying. So it's either welding equipment. I misread it. It's actually 15. Gasoline canister. Okay, so gasoline canister for Sue Ann, who doesn't remember who the hell she is. And last but not least for the 7 is a 26. A Geiger counter. They don't need a damn Geiger counter. Okay, so that's okay. So 2662. Telescope. Why not? All right. I think that's enough as the base. I don't... now I'm going to have to think about, okay, what are their statistics? And I'm going to tell you quite honestly, I'm going to do this on the fly. I have an idea of their personalities. I have an idea of their relationship with one another. I have ideas about the 7. And I have to roll one more time. 21. Because they're just going to meet this person today, 21. And she does not look scary as hell. Maps and navigation tool. And that's why, okay, so 21 maps and ID tools. Okay. Or navigation. Compass. And she's got a motorcycle. It all makes sense. She's also a cannibal, so why the hell not? You know, oh, she's cannibal. She needs she needs a she needs some type of combat weapon. Let's see if I can get something that's cool for her. 54 or 45. Stun baton. Ooh. Chain whip. Broken glass shards. Oh, she's got a stun baton. That's how, and maybe she kills people out and munches. All right, all right. So I've got my 7, and then we've got the billion people here. There are some other tables. These are not the only tables, and I don't want to give the other people items because I want them to be in want. I want them to be needy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this screen to relics. And so this is Old World Relics. And so the Old World Relics, I think I have to go again to the 7 and just go through this of what they have in either their possession or collectively. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll seven times. I'm actually going to write it down as part of the scenery, as it were. So we've got 23. Okay, so that's pretty good. So they've got wind up music box. Um, 45. A sewing mannequin. We have one here in the house, and my daughter and wife have called it Linda. 41. Antique clock. So this is a modern spa, but they have collected some goods. So 24. Solar powered watch. I'm going to say that's the leader's. It's just too, it just makes too much sense for him not to have it. 21. Vintage video game console. All right. On a 1, it's a Nintendo Wii. Okay, so yeah, on a 1, it's it's a Wii. On a 2 or 3, it's an Xbox. The latest, whatever. On a 4 or 5, it's a PS5. And if it's a 6, it's a VR headset. 4, it's PS5. All right. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 24. Oh, well, that's the watch again. So 42. Electric fan. Yeah. Now they're going to have a generator. So they need gas. And obviously, they need food. So somehow or other, they must have something in this spa that the others want. Now that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I've got one more to roll for the 7. 53. A functional microwave. I mean, what luxury? They've got microwave food. They've got all this stuff. I mean, they're heating up tins, sparking up the hell out of everywhere. All right, so that is that lovely. So now it's another one that I really thought would be super cool, and this is the religious groups. I think what I'm going to do is the first thing that I'd like to do is I want to go to the ones who are religious, and then we'll just move out from that. So we've got the religious people are here in the main servant group. I just want to go through this to make sure. I think there are 2 who are religious. So this person worships the dead and has a machete. Now I'm just going to roll and see if I can have this make sense. So that's a 16. Okay, control the it just writes itself. So, okay, so control walkers in prayer. Okay, so that's 1. I'm going to give the terminal illness guy a faith 54. Okay, so I'm seeing where this is going. So I'm not going to give him that. There was another religious person. Oh, yes, Aaliyah. Oh God. 13. Demand converts or death. Well, of course she does. Okay. So, we've got a picture of the religion that's being promoted by Daejung, the cult leader. So, we're just going to say that that is their belief system. So, the leader is promoting that he can pray and walkers respond. Now, some of these 7 do not believe that that's totally crap, but they're afraid of him. That will get developed as the story goes on. So we've got our person who is going to be receiving them, and that's Mary the hairdresser. So we got her today. So I'm not even going to bring out the other characters for today's session. I'm going to put them away. And now I think that what I need to do is out of this group. Now I'm not gonna subject them to Aaliyah just yet. So I'm pulling her from the group. So I'm gonna shuffle this up and look at you. I did have one more, and this is relationships. And again, I want to make sure that everybody realizes that Rodrigo Fernandez, which is Mestre dos Amargos, and I'm just going to make sure that this is seen so that you can see. And this is at Itch.io, so please go and support his work. This is absolutely amazing. Now, I think what I may do is I'm just for the sake of time and the fact that we've been on for quite some time, I'm gonna shuffle these up, and I'm gonna draw what I consider to be a sufficient amount to get them to come and join their group. So I think I'm gonna get 3 people. So we're gonna have 3 people. So 1, 2, 3. So these are the 3 people in your neighborhood who are going to be entrusted in bringing back the new servants or the faithful. Um, ah, they will encounter these people first. They're going, okay, so B doesn't follow the rules. She's a principal, but she hears commanding voices in her head. And so she believes this religious stuff. She is a believer. Okay, so she's a believer. I'm going to say her manipulation is a 10. Right off the bat. Her manipulation is a 10. This will be a problem with Daejung, but because she's a believer, she won't challenge him unless something else happens. There has to be a number of circumstances. The other person who is going out is the religious, worshiping the dead, and believes that the walkers can be controlled by prayer, is the machete-wielding Gus from the general store. Gus knows B and believes in B. Probably was taught by B. Okay, so they are close. They wouldn't have each other's back. So these will be, this person will come out and he will have a machete. She also, B has a machete as well. And I'm going to say that the machete for Gus is a 10. Oh, no. Is a 8. And I'm going to say B's machete is a 5. All right. And he will have something else, but we'll figure that out. And then we've got Maurice, who is a rifle wielding, and I'm going to say he's also got an 8 in rifle. So these are kind of some of the most powerful of the followers. This one also doesn't follow rules, and he wants to kill the leader. He also has a bat, which I'm going to say is a 5. Why is he out there if it's a secret that he wants to kill the leader? Why would he go out? I'm going to pass on this one. I'm going to pass on this one just simply because I want to save him for something else. So the next person in line was Mickey the homeless. No. I'm the last one. Latifah the kid. Compulsive liar. She's got a bat. She's a loner. I think she'll get along with Daisy, the deaf girl. I'm going to give her... I'm going to give her an... I'm going to give her a 5 for the bat. She's a liar. I'm going to give her manipulation. I'm going to give manipulation 8. Okay, so these are people who are going to convince the others that they're safe, that they're good, that everything's good. So these are the ones that they'll encounter first outside. And then they will meet Mary, and we'll see if they meet any of the others, and I'll just play it by ear. I've only got with the kids about an hour and 20 minutes for the after school session because of the way the buses work after. So it really is just a matter of I've got a concept. I know exactly what's going on. I may not now have the amount of time to be able to look for a proper spa, but I might. Um, it's one of those things where you kind of say, I've got to be able to manipulate things so that they fit me, so that they fit my style, so that they fit our, the feeling of the game. What the kids loved last summer with the beta was that it was a contemporary tale, that it had what they envisioned as being a scenario that they could relate to because they'd all watched The Walking Dead and they all have uh, that mythos in their wheelhouse. So they understand what walkers are capable of, what walkers aren't capable of. And they also know that the story really revolves around the interpersonal relationships. So it is going to be run very much like a hex crawl within the spa, but they will be given a task initially to see if they can, to see if they earn a place on the lower floors. Um, and there will have to be uh, two party guards all the time. I may have to rethink the party people. I may need to add two bouncers or something along those lines, just to make sure that everybody is kept in order. And because the partiers just want to party, they don't want to go around and do things. They just want to laze around. So they have people doing their bidding. And maybe, if I think about it, maybe the reality is that the seven are the pawns, are the kind of leadership of the others, but there's a higher level of party leadership which we don't even know about. And those layers are just, they come naturally in the gameplay. The one of the good things about playing with children is, or youth, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, is they automatically know that this is an imagination game, and so they work with imagination instead of saying, well, wait, what's the rule on this? Wait, how many dice? No, that's not the proper amount of dice. I know that they should only have five. You don't get that argumentative situation with adults, where adults are like jaded and some of them want to just take control. And that's fine for some GMs. They have friends, they have people who they don't mind having those type of challenges. I don't mind having those challenges, but I don't like it to become the main focus of the game, where the rules are the game. And I find that D&D is like this. I'm sorry to say, but D&D 5th is definitely like this. The more rules you have, the more tendency there is to become rule mongers. And if it's too light and you don't have enough rules, then all you're doing is playing an imagination game, and you might as well just do story time and forget about rolling, because what's the point of percentages if there's no cost, and if there's nothing that you find randomly. I mean, I think what we've proven by this exercise today and last night is that we can be equally excited by the creation of the world. And I remember uh, Matthew Colville talking about his excitement of creating the world. And I think this is a much older video before he became kind of famous, as it were, where he did a world and created this world. It's on his YouTube channel. It's an older video, but there was a series where he went through and he created everything, and it's an amazing process. And I think that even here we saw that we were surprised by the outcome of some. So I'm really happy to have shared this with you. I hope that you've enjoyed this time. I thank you very much if you've got this far, even if you're scrubbing ahead. Thank you for even doing that. But I will give you an update, but I will not do another one of these massive long videos. And I'll give you an update of what's going on. So I cleaned up. I noticed that my hair is getting ridiculously white, which is surprising. Surprising. I have a white dog. Surprising the hell out of me, because it really shows up in the video how my hair is graying, and so that's something else to think about. So, have a great day. Thank you very much for watching. No massive intro or outro or anything like that. It just is what it is. Take care. Bye.